It's term 4 and Spark is back, and we have a bunch of new stuff for us all this term at Spark. We're going to kick it off with something new, some music, and take it away, Sarah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
The big Bible story. That's what we are doing this term in Spark. We are doing not just one book of the Bible or not just a few stories about Jesus. We are doing the whole Bible. So each week at Spark, we're doing a few more books in the Bible, going from the very first book all the way through 66 books in the Bible. And to kick us off, here's Josh with the very first 5 books in the Bible.
Hi, welcome to term 4 of Spark Online. Have your parents ever given you rules that you just didn't understand? Maybe you felt like they were there just to annoy you. I know that my dad hates it when I just leave the door open after coming in, or when I walk in muddy footprints after being outside in the mud. If you ever broke those rules, maybe you found out the hard way that they were there for a reason. Your parents probably made you follow them because they loved you and wanted to keep you safe. In the first 5 books of the Bible, which we'll be looking at today, they tell this same story. They are Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Genesis starts with the story of how God made everything, including Adam and Eve. They thought they knew better than God, so they ate from the tree that he told them not to. Because they disobeyed God, this caused humans to have sin and become separated from him. He decided to fix this by choosing Abraham, promising him children, land, and freedom from sin. Abraham would have a family that would one day save the world, but we'll get back to that later. In the book of Exodus, Abraham's family has grown into the nation of Israel, but they're slaves in Egypt, so God hears their cries for help and rescues them from slavery. After rescuing his people, God says to them, "You saw what I did in Egypt, and you know how I brought you here to me, just as a mighty eagle carries its young. Now if you will faithfully obey me, you will be my very own people. The whole world is mine, but you will be my holy nation and serve me as priests." In the book of Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, God gives them these laws to follow. These laws show how they're different from other nations and helps them to live as his people. So, we find in the story of God working to save his people from sin and slavery in Genesis and Exodus. We see these laws that God gave them so that they'd live his way in Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Just like our parents have given us rules to follow, God gave Adam and Eve rules too. When they broke these rules, God didn't just give up on them. He began saving his children by rescuing them from Egypt. He also made sure to give them other rules so that they live his way. But, just like Adam and Eve, Israel kept breaking these rules. Despite this, God had a plan to stop this from ever happening again. Remember how earlier I told you about how through Abraham's family, God would save the world? Well, Jesus was born out of Abraham's family. God's plan to send Jesus started all the way back in Genesis, at the very beginning of the Bible. The best part is that unlike the rest of the people in Abraham's family, Jesus was perfect. He wasn't like Adam and Eve, who were tempted, or like the Israelites, who kept breaking God's laws. He would start a new family, which we'll see when we start looking at the books in the New Testament.
Thanks, Josh. So we don't have a big idea machine this term at Spark, but we have a big Bible bookshelf. I've built a bookshelf here, and each week we're going to add some books to the bookshelf. So this week we have the first 5 books of the Bible. So we have Genesis, if you're listening to Josh, we'll put that up there. Genesis, so that's where God creates the world. There's Adam and Eve and their sin, everything goes pear-shaped. Now we've got Exodus. That's an important book of the Bible. That's where the Israelites leave Egypt and become God's own people, God's own nation. And then we have Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And these are all the instructions that God gives the Israelites about how to live as God's people. So there we go. The first 5 books. And slowly over the term, we're going to fill this whole bookshelf up with 66 books that make up the whole Bible. Time for a chill and challenge, and we have Lily with us this time. Let's see what she has for us.
Hi guys, welcome to Spark. My name's Lily, and today we're going to be making the ball and cup game. So first of all, what you'll need is a cup, you'll need a skewer, some scissors, some sticky tape, some string, some beads, and also of course some textures to decorate your cup. So to start off with, what you're going to do is decorate your cup. So let's get started. So now what you want to do is get your decorated cup and the skewer, and you're going to want to poke a hole in the bottom of your cup. Now what you want to do is grab your sticky tape and scissors, and you're going to cut out little strips of sticky tape. Once you have cut out the little bits of sticky tape, you're going to want to put the sticky tape on the bottom to attach the skewer to the cup. Now that you've got all the sticky tape to the bottom of your cup should be nice and secure when you move it around. You're going to want to thread the string through the bead. Then you're going to want to tie a nice tight knot, maybe 2 or 3 times. Now that your knot is tied, the bead should not fall off the string. Now you're going to tie a double knot at the other end. Now that you've tied the knot at the other end of the string, you're going to thread the knotted end through the skewer in the middle. Now the skewer is in the middle, you can now play the game. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to try and get the bead into the cup. And that's it, you've got your cup and ball to play the game. So see how many times you can get the ball in the cup. Thanks Spark for joining me on the craft and challenge this week. Have a great week.
Thanks, Lily. You may be thinking, what's the Bible reading challenge for this term? If we're doing the whole Bible, that's a seriously big Bible reading challenge, and it is. So we've decided to make it a little bit easier. We've got 2 suggestions for you. First off, you could get hold of this book, the Big Picture Story Bible. And this is a kid's Bible that takes you through the whole grown-ups Bible with some beautiful big pictures and shows you the whole story. If you can get yourself a copy of this, I would encourage you to read through it this term with your mum or dad. Or if you think you're a bit too big for picture books, we do have a Bible reading challenge. It's been sent out with the email this week, and this Bible reading challenge takes us through the whole Bible, but the whole Bible of the Christmas story. So bits about Jesus and his birth in the Old Testament, and then all the Christmas story from Matthew and Luke in the New Testament over this term. And you might like to read through that, getting ready for December this year. Now, finally, many of you will be thinking, when are we going to be back to face-to-face Spark? And I can tell you it is coming. It'll definitely be here by the end of the term. The exact details are being worked out. We will tell you over email and in the coming videos over the next few weeks. See ya.
Who's living by the story? God gets the glory. Gather up under Jesus.